Hey guys, I'm Lincoln. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Dread Captures. If you're interested in wild things caught on camera, stick around because we have a great video for you this week. As always, please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and I will see you in the comments.
This dashcam footage from Poland is a chilling reminder of the importance of staying safe on the roads. It happened back in 2014 on a dark, bumpy road near Warsaw. The driver and his daughter are cruising along, headlights on, but with limited visibility due to the poor road conditions. Suddenly, a car coming from the opposite direction flashes its lights, a warning sign of something up ahead. Unfortunately, it's too late to react. In the car's headlights, a figure appears right in the middle of the road. The driver swerves to avoid hitting the person, but loses control of the car. The vehicle careens off the road and crashes into a ditch. Thankfully, both the driver and his daughter are okay, with only minor injuries. The strange part, the person in the road just disappears. He turns his back to the car right before the crash, then vanishes into the night. The driver says he never saw the man again, and the police were never able to identify him. There was no body, there was no damage to the vehicle, other than what happened in the wreck. It's impossible to know for sure what the man's intentions were. Maybe he was under the influence, maybe he was trying to hurt himself, maybe he was a ghostly apparition. Whatever the reason, this incident serves as a warning to both drivers and pedestrians to be extra cautious on dark roads. This clip shows an unbelievably narrow escape for a FedEx driver in Kentucky. It doesn't take us long to see that the weather in this video is pretty bad. All of a sudden, a tree suddenly crashes to the ground. Severe weather was moving through the bluegrass state. Powerful winds were bringing down trees all over the place. This incredible video was caught on a Ring camera. I was thinking, and imagine if this guy had on AirPods or some type of headphones and he didn't hear the cracking of this tree behind him. I mean, he narrowly escaped. He didn't have but a few seconds to get out of there. Just absolutely incredible. And that is a massive tree. I'm just very glad he got out of the way because Mother Nature is undefeated. Let's take a look at this crazy dashcam footage from Manchester Township, New Jersey. It all happened back in April of 2019 during a nasty thunderstorm. Yeah, pretty crazy. Thunderstorms can cause all sorts of problems, and in this case it brought down a power line right smack in the middle of an intersection. The video shows a utility worker trying to clear the downed wire from a traffic light. You can see him grab the wire and pull, most likely thinking it had been shut off for, well, safety reasons. And yeah, that wasn't quite the case. A few seconds later, the unexpected happens. The wire touches the wet ground and erupts in flames. Thankfully, the worker was quick on his feet and jumps out of the way. The sergeant who filmed this on his patrol car dashcam says the flames were intense, even burning holes in the streets. It's freaking scary. Now, after this close call, there were obviously some questions. A harsh investigation was launched to figure out why the power line was still live when the worker went to fix it. Unfortunately, the cause was never officially revealed, but luckily there weren't any other incidents reported in the area. For quite a while, there's been a suspicion lingering in the mind of this homeowner that his house might be haunted.
It's a picture frame, that little black thing. It's right there. That's a picture frame. It's my kids. It started sporadically.
This video clip begins with him addressing the audience directly, pointing out a picture frame situated just over his shoulder. Recently, he's noticed that this particular frame has been shifting positions on its own. As he delves deeper into his story, something unexpected happens.
right in front of my face, dude.
The frame begins to sway back and forth dramatically, as if pushed by an unseen force. This erratic movement culminates in the frame executing a full rotation, before it's sent crashing to the ground.
It was doing that. Where the f did the pic... Where did it go?
Reacting swiftly, the homeowner immediately switches on the lights to get a better view of what just happened. Now, this isn't his first encounter with what he believes to be a poltergeist concentrating its energies on this specific frame. But here's where it gets even more odd. When he checks beneath the desk expecting to see the fallen frame, it's mysteriously missing. Even after a thorough search around and under the desk, he can't find the frame. Now, a common claim by many skeptics in the comments, when they're faced with videos of objects moving like this, that there's probably an unseen person pulling strings, quite literally, off the camera. But given the unpredictable type movements of the frame, I feel like it would be pretty hard to replicate that. And also, given the way that the frame was spinning, I feel like it would be hard to replicate that just using a string. And also, how did the frame vanish from sight when the camera was rolling continuously? Of course, there's the possibility that it's hidden amongst the clutter, but then again, maybe there's just more to the story than meets the eye.
Now look, this could very well be real. However, I just feel like this guy might not be the most reputable source. It looks like, to me, what he does is play video games all day and crush Coors Lights. Yeah. I mean, his trash can was filled with them. Look, nothing wrong with either of those things. But if that's kind of all you got going on, yeah, you have some time on your hands. So maybe he kind of conjured up this idea. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.
Shadow figures are among the most mysterious and hard to explain phenomena detailed in our folklore. Many have spoken of fleeting dark silhouettes that dart from the corner of their eyes, leaving them questioning if they actually saw anything. These elusive figures have been part of stories for generations. They are believed to lurk in dim spaces, often just out of direct sight. Over the years, tales have claimed that spotting these shadowy figures might foretell upcoming tragedies or bring about misfortune. Now, an intriguing twist to this lore has surfaced. A Reddit user by the name of GlumUnderstanding55 is convinced they've managed to catch one of these shadow figures on film. Although the provided clip doesn't come with an extensive backstory, it's rumored that this user was conducting an exorcism at the time. During the first viewing, the peculiar occurrence might be easy to miss. However, if we slow down the footage and enhance the zoom, something emerges. A strange, dark form is seen shifting rapidly from the left side of the frame to the right. It appears as a tall, vertical streak moving with astonishing speed. For centuries, people have whispered about these shadow entities. They've been described as beings glimpsed mainly from the corner of one's eye, making one second guess if they truly witnessed anything. I think we all know that feeling. But now, with this new evidence, the debate reignites. Is this really a genuine capture of the legendary shadow figure that many have spoken about? Or might there be a more straightforward, rational explanation for this eerie sighting? Time will tell. The sky holds many mysteries beyond just UFOs. For instance, take a look at this unusual footage from LPE 360, captured in Syria. In this video, a typical blue sky is dotted with white clouds. At a first glance, everything looks pretty ordinary.
Машалла, машалла, машалла! Я не знаю, что это такое. Аллаху Акбар! Много ангелов, братья, рядами! Такбир! Аллаху Акбар! Мана фаристала, Аллаху Акбар!
But as the person recording the video speaks, it becomes clear that something unusual is going on. We can hear in his voice a hint of disturbance. As he sweeps the camera across the sky, an odd phenomenon becomes evident. The clouds seem to ripple, much like waves in a pond. As the camera moves further, this bizarre rippling effect is visible throughout the entire sky.
Я не знаю, что это такое. Аллаху Акбар. Пусть кто-нибудь объяснит, если не ангелы, что это такое? Много-много ангелов, братья, рядами!
Now, this footage left many viewers perplexed. Some jumped to conclusions suggesting government weather manipulation or even extraterrestrial involvement. A large number of comments even pointed to a government initiative named Project HARP as a possible explanation. For those unfamiliar, Project HARP, short for High Frequency Active Aurora Research Program, is aimed at enhancing our knowledge of the ionosphere, an upper layer of Earth's atmosphere. Sponsored by the U.S. Air Force, Navy, and the University of Alaska Fairbanks, the program operates out of a facility in Alaska. This facility sprawls over an area comparable to a small town and houses roughly 180 antennas. There have been many concerns raised about HARP. Critics have voiced suspicions that the military might be employing HARP with ulterior motives. Numerous conspiracy theories circulate, suggesting that HARP possesses the power to influence human emotions or even dominate their thoughts. Some have gone so far as to speculate that it could be behind major natural disasters like earthquakes or hurricanes. Well, the ripple in the Syrian sky remains a mystery, and while speculations are many, without concrete evidence, the true reason behind such phenomena remains elusive. Disastrous wildfires tore through Northern California in August of 2020. This wasn't your average summer blaze. It was one of the worst firestorms the region had ever seen. Nicknamed the LNU Lightning Complex, the series of fires merged together, scorching a massive area of land. So how bad was it? Well, we're talking over 363,000 acres burned. And what caused that? Well, a nasty combination of factors. Thousands of lightning strikes, record-breaking heat, and strong winds whipping across the state. The fire complex became the 6th largest in California's history. One of the biggest fires in the complex was the Hennessy Blaze. Starting in Napa County, it gobbled up over 300,000 acres of land on its own, merging with other fires along the way. The next day, a driver named Tyler Day was on Highway 128 near Steel Canyon Road in Napa when he captured this terrifying dashcam footage. And yeah, this isn't your campfire sing-along kind of fire. The video shows Tyler driving through a scene straight out of an apocalypse movie. With walls of flames raging on both sides of the road, it looked incredibly dangerous. There were falling trees, melted pavement, blocked roads. Thankfully, Tyler managed to escape the flames unharmed. But sadly, others weren't so lucky. The LNU Lightning Complex took the lives of 6 people and injured 5 more as entire communities were engulfed in flames. At the time of this recording, the Hennessy fire was completely out of control. It wasn't until October that firefighters finally announced they had extinguished the entire complex. Just absolutely unreal. Hiking one week in the Grand Tetons, Shane and Chloe Patrick were celebrating their new marriage and Shane's survival of a brain tumor. They decided to split up because Shane had his heart set on seeing this type of particular owl. Well, yeah, that is not what he ran into. As he was walking, he noticed a cub, and not far off was its mother. The mother bum rushed him, and even though he had bear repellent spray, he wasn't quick enough to get it out. Shane said all that he thought he could do was to duck and cover, and he knew he was in for a world of hurt. The grizzly promptly bit one leg, picked him up, shook him around, bit the other thigh, picked him up, shook him around again. And Shane just laid there, covering his neck. He wanted to make sure he protected the arteries. And each time he hit the ground, Shane just maintained the fetal position, interlocking his hands around his neck to protect any major arteries that the bear might go for. He was seeing his life flash before his eyes when suddenly he heard a pop. And he thought, oh no, she's cracked my skull. But fortunately, The bear had bitten the can of bear spray and it started to shoot out. After being thrown around and realizing that the bear spray was actually working, repelling the bear, he could taste it in his mouth, and to him that signified that he was alive. He quickly scampered away, as so did the bear, and he called his wife Chloe, who luckily is a nurse. She couldn't believe it at first, but talked the distraught Shane through applying tourniquets to his legs. You can see the pictures as she did a pretty good job as Shane applied the tourniquets. When Chloe hung up, she wasn't sure if she had spoken to her husband for the last time. Luckily, Rangers got the coordinates and were able to medevac him out of there. And the first thing he said was to make sure that they didn't harm the bear. He didn't want them to shoot the bear, put the bear down, because the bear really was just protecting its cub. I mean, just a really great story. Can you imagine being attacked by a grizzly bear, only months past surviving a brain tumor? You're just playing with house money at this point. Anyhow, great to see that he's going to make a full recovery. This video shows a worker in Blockbuster just restocking the shelves at the end of the night. While he's hard at work, all of a sudden the cart moves. And you can tell he kind of notices, he just doesn't think much of it. What struck me was the DVDs that fell over. You could tell that the cart was pushed in that direction. As we continue to watch, we can see movies are now falling off the shelves. I have to admit, the worker's casual attitude is impressive. I don't know if maybe he's seen this before, or he's just kind of zoned out, or he's going to eventually freak out off camera.
What is up, guys? Lincoln here. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Dread Captures. If you're into trail camera footage, paranormal experiences, creepy footage, you've come to the right place. We've put together a great video for you this week. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the comments.
Alright, so in this clip, we have a few guys in the woods. They have found something on their property. You can see as he zooms in, it definitely looks like a hairy bipedal creature walking through the woods. He tries to track him, but you can even hear him on the original video say that his camera is somehow picking up everything on the forefront, and it's not focusing very well, but let's watch the part where he walks again. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's something. I mean, it's either somebody in a suit or it's Bigfoot. I mean, that's kind of the way I feel about it.
This clip features a homeowner who believes they captured a time traveler on their security camera in the backyard. Let me stop by saying this. This guy looks sketchy as I don't even know. I mean, I hate to judge a book by its cover, but even his mannerisms, they're off. He's looking to steal something. Anyhow, the homeowner noticed this guy. He's got a backpack, goes into the backyard. When the man entered the property, he wandered around for a while and finally went into this shed. Now, the guy that lived there tried to communicate with the man through the camera system, but he didn't answer. Growing everly more concerned, the homeowner contacted the police. Upon arrival, the police searched the shed but found it to be empty. But the guy knew that he never left that shed. But they looked and looked and looked, and the man was nowhere on the property. It was like he had vanished. After the police left, the homeowner, baffled by the experience, shared the footage on social media, suggesting the possibility of a time traveler. The video went viral, and people have tons of ideas, but almost everyone is struggling to find a clear explanation. So what do we think? Could this really be evidence of a time traveler, or did the guy just sneak out of the shed without the homeowner knowing it? A perfect storm type scenario. He just dips around the corner and he's off. Alright, so check this out. This is very interesting and frankly a little unsettling. Caught on a trail camera, this photo was sent in by a viewer, and let me tell you, it's got me scratching my head. Now, at first glance, it might look like just a large wolf or some kind of canine at least. But take a closer look. See how it's standing there, almost upright on its hind legs? And while we can't see its front paws, they look an awful lot longer than any wolves I've ever seen. Now, in the cryptic community, this kind of thing actually has a name. A dogman. Described as a bipedal creature with a mix of canine and human features, sightings of dogmen have been reported for centuries all over the world. Now, I'm not saying this is definitive proof of a dogman, but the resemblance is uncanny. The human-like posture, the elongated limbs, it certainly fits the bill. But probably the thing that makes me lean most towards this being something other than a regular wolf are its eyes. They just feel human-like. I don't know. Of course, there could be a completely rational explanation. Maybe it's a wolf just standing on uneven terrain. But those explanations don't quite sit right. Anyhow, let me know what you guys think. I'm interested. If this isn't a cryptid, is this just a really large wolf? I mean, there's just something about it. I don't know, maybe a hybrid of some sort. Let me know. A seemingly ordinary Tuesday evening in October took a bizarre turn for one young girl. It was around 6 p.m. when the girl, filming with her camera, decided to record a video showcasing her new toy collection and share a bit about her day. However, the video takes a chilling turn.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you my Skibbity toilet collection that I just got today. We went to a toy store and they had all of these things like this cameraman, these tiny little action figures, this big Skibbity toilet, and this one. I saw my friend the other day and we went on a walk and we also got ice cream that day and I'm having a lot of fun.
The girl abruptly stops talking and appears to freeze in fear, staring intently at something off camera. This unsettling silence continues for over 20 seconds before she gets up and quickly leaves the room, leaving the camera recording. And it's kind of faint, but you can hear her. It's almost like she's saying, "Mom, Dad," like she's freaked out. The camera remains running and captures what some have interpreted as a shadowy figure following the girl out of the room. Let me know if you guys see that. Now, an even crazier instance on how this was found, the girl's older sister Charity stumbled upon this strange recording while just looking through the random camera footage. According to Charity, she had no prior knowledge of her sister experiencing anything unusual that day or ever. Anyhow, the clip, now shared on Instagram by Charity, has sparked a ton of online discussion. No one seems to have any idea what it is, and viewers are mostly left to draw their own conclusions. I don't know. As for me, well, it's pretty clear to me. She saw something that freaked her out. Wildlife encounters, particularly with bears, can be unpredictable and extremely dangerous. Well, this video serves as a stark reminder of that. The footage shows a hiker who was unfortunately attacked by a bear cub. But thankfully, it wasn't a full-grown bear. Also, the hiker reacted appropriately by yelling and using a stick to try to scare this thing away. I mean, look at this guy. This determined cub is refusing to back down. It pounced at the hiker and was able to even grab the stick in its jaws. It took the hiker some time to finally dislodge it. I mean, this really highlights the importance of being aware of potential risks when exploring the area. I mean, this guy could probably mess you up a little bit if he got a hold of you. We think of these bear cubs as kind of being cute and cuddly, but I mean, they're bigger than most dogs. And the last thing you need is for mama to come around the corner and think that you're messing with her baby. We all know how protective they are. Anyway, as always, these videos serve as a valuable lesson to always be aware of your surroundings. A Reddit user named Kimberly shared a strange experience that has left her terrified. According to Kimberly, she was unable to sleep one night and decided to grab a late night snack around 1:30 a.m. Knowing her boyfriend and roommate Jackie were both soundly asleep, Kimberly felt confident she was alone in the house. However, what happened next caused a serious fright.
Oh, Jesus! Jackie? Hi.
Kimberly recounts jumping in surprise after hearing a loud female voice clearly say, "Hi," from the doorway directly behind her. Confused, she got up expecting to see her roommate Jackie, but the doorway was empty. Now, adding to the strangeness, Kimberly has two small dogs who typically come running at the sound of food. However, you can see them in the background. In this occasion, the dogs remained plenty far away, even appearing a little skittish.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the
Kimberly says that she doesn't really have any opinion on the paranormal. She has never had any interactions and not thought much of it. But on this instance, she emphasizes that her roommate was definitely asleep at the time, and they don't have any virtual assistant devices like Siri or Alexa or anything that could produce a voice. I don't know about you guys, but I'll say this video clip, paired with Kimberly's story, shows a genuine look of fear on her face. I mean, she is startled. And I think that lends some credibility to her experience. Have you guys had any experiences like this? Ventura County, California resident Diane runs a popular YouTube channel called Diane the Canning Nana, where she shares tips and tricks on growing and preserving food. However, her channel recently took a turn into the unexplained. In the early morning hours around 2 a.m., Diane received a motion alert from her security cam. Curious, she reviewed the footage and captured something pretty bizarre. The video, taken while everyone in the house was asleep, shows a faint apparition resembling an older woman with long hair walking through her living room. Even Diane's cat appears to react to the strange figure, looking towards it with a startled expression. Now, according to Diane, she's felt an unusual presence in her home for months, but this was the first time she was able to capture it on camera. She says she actually feels a little vindicated, or less crazy. The situation takes an even stranger turn when the footage is brightened. The figure seems to vanish completely, disappearing into thin air. Diane plans to continue canning, and she's hoping that this unexplained encounter marks the first and the last time she dives into the paranormal content on her channel. So, what do you believe? This next clip is from some hunters who were hunting in the deep forest. Well, they were until they were interrupted by some haunting sounds. Listen closely. Yeah, did you hear that? The loud howling sounds? Now, the exact location of this footage is unknown, and the person who sent it in believes it might have been captured in Oregon, which we all know is a state known for its numerous reports of strange creatures. And when you look in the comments, people are immediately running towards the cryptid angle. So what cryptid could be responsible for these sounds? Many who have heard the recording believe it to be Bigfoot, with some members of the paranormal community even suggesting there might be more than one. However, others have offered more down-to-earth explanations. Some commenters suggested it was simply the wind. Well, they're wrong. Another user tagged a wolf conservation page and they said that these are definitely wolves. They're just communicating and that's all there is to it. I'm leaning more towards wolves. I mean, howling for them is such a crucial way for them to communicate. You know, they might be announcing their location or even fending off rival packs. I think they even do it as like a competition or like a social bonding or something I read somewhere. Anyhow, yeah, it would probably freak me out if I was in the woods too. Now, take a look at this footage. A white being glimpsed on a man's back porch, moving stealthily in the dark. Now, what does this unsettling figure remind you of? If you said the Rake, well, you're not alone. The man who uploaded the footage mentioned that he'd been hearing odd sounds coming from his back porch around midnight for some time now. Since he's usually alone at that hour, he decided to take matters into his own hands. For days, he psyched himself up to expose whatever or whoever it was that kept visiting his home. Finally, armed with the camera to capture evidence of a potential break-in, he set up a nighttime watch on his back porch. Well, he got what he was looking for. Unfortunately, the footage he filmed was so bizarre and grainy that even the police didn't take him seriously. For those that don't know what the Rake might be, it's an entity that is often described as a pale, emaciated humanoid figure. It usually has long, slender limbs. It also has sharp, vicious claws that are said to be its only weapons, but it moves with an unnerving agility, and it preys on unsuspecting victims. Yeah, I don't totally know about this one. The footage is so bad that I just can't really tell. It could be anything, right? I mean, we almost have to take this guy at his word or just the exact opposite. Maybe it's just a hoax.
So yeah, what do you guys think about this one? I mean, I feel like I see something in the video, unless it's just, like I said, so focused in that I'm just making it up with my eyes. I don't know. Footage is bad, so let me know what you guys can make out, if anything.
A truly bizarre capture on a security camera in a street has left viewers with very little explanation. The grainy footage shows a figure appearing across the road, and it doesn't look like anything most people have ever seen. It's kind of a dark, translucent, swirling mass, vaguely resembling some type of being. Great description. There's something up with its torso. Its head is particularly strange. I mean, it looks like something out of a movie. Who am I kidding? Look how it just tries to slowly creep across the road. I mean, passing vehicles, they don't even see it. I do really wonder, though, could this be a ghost? I mean, it doesn't appear that anyone else sees it, but the quality of the footage makes it difficult to say for certain. Without more info, I don't think we'll be able to definitively say what the figure is.
This captivating clip from somewhere in Russia, a guy is out enjoying the wilderness with his kid during a day trip, recording their excursion. What he captures next is nothing short of astonishing. Behind some trees, there's this enormous hairy figure darting across the frame. This thing is big, it's moving on two legs, and obviously everyone's first thought is Bigfoot, or perhaps an exceptionally large wild animal. The size of the thing, plus the way that it runs like a human but also has a wild animal look to it, is definitely enough to give you a fright if you ran into it. This clip definitely grabs your attention, and while there could be a more down-to-earth explanation behind it, this video is quite compelling.
YouTuber Sam, known for his channel The Northwest Wind, is famous for his stealth camping adventures. These adventures are crazy. They're often involved by setting up camp in unconventional locations like Burger Kings, Walmarts, public restrooms. I think he went to a cemetery. Anyhow, his channel's pretty funny. However, on one occasion, Sam decided to camp in a wooded park on the outskirts of Cleveland, Ohio. Despite the chilly temps in January, he initially felt comfortable with his decision. This is in January in Ohio, but despite the freezing cold temperatures, he initially felt comfortable with his decision. However, as night fell, his confidence, well, let's just say it began to dwindle. Soon, his initial concerns escalated into a real-life nightmare.
Walking around out there very close to the tent. They're getting closer, hang on. Hang on. They're really close now, they're like... Listen. Hello? 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 Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Hello? Alright, I'm getting the f*** out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what the f*** this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? Say something, I see you. They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! Alright, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. It smells like someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette! Alright, we're just gonna get out of here. We're just gonna get out of here. I'll come back for this crap later. Do I have my phone? I'm gonna call. Stay away from me! They're coming behind me. I don't know what they're doing. They could just be around. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. They're at my campsite. I see them. I see you reflecting off my tent. Leave my alone! All right, I'm getting out of here. One of them's following me. One of them. Okay, here's the trail of some kind. I just ate. I just ate. I'm soaked. I'm toast. Okay, oh, they're coming. Leave me alone! Okay. I'm about 5 minutes from the car now, but I'm in the big clearing off the path. I have the high ground, so to speak. I can see everything from behind me. I don't see anybody anymore. Can't hear anybody. If they were coming, I could see them for a ways now. Right at the edge of the wood line. It's about 150 yards away. Hang on. You see that? I see you! I can see you! Oh, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. All right, let's get the I don't know if they're like after me or something, or what the happening. We're getting the It's getting bigger. They're coming this way. Oh, I don't like this. I'm calling the police. Okay. All right, we're getting out of here. All right. lock my doors. What the f? What the f?
He heard people outside of his tent. Feeling threatened, Sam tried to call out to the people or creatures in the woods. I mean, this guy's yelling. However, they didn't say anything. Understandably shaken by the experience, Sam made the decision to get the hell out of Dodge. He even left all his camping gear behind. Thankfully, Sam managed to reach his car safely. Returning to the park the next day, he was surprised to find his tent and belongings untouched. Nothing had been stolen or vandalized. Now, this added an extra layer of mystery to this encounter. I mean, he was like, well, what the heck were they there for if they weren't there to steal my stuff or rob me? He said that really sent chills down his spine. If you'd like to learn more about this incident, because it's a pretty long video, you can watch the full thing on Sam's YouTube channel, The Northwest Wind.
Yes, I was out here hunting, and I'm so startled right now. I think I may have stumbled across a Bigfoot. I'm just not sure. Here, let's see if you guys can tell. I'm so startled right now. I'm so startled. Yeah, it looks like there's two Bigfoots. I don't know. It looks like he's got a dead deer in his arm or something. I'm not sure. Oh my god, I think he sees me. I have to go.
Christina Roberts was turkey hunting when she stumbled upon two creatures she identified as Sasquatches. The part that really creeped her out is that she thought that they were carrying a dead deer, possibly one they had hunted and were about to feed upon. Upon reviewing the original footage, you can tell she was visibly shaking, and she seems to be talking very quietly as to not be noticed. However, when the footage is enhanced, this is where opinions vary. Some viewers insist they're just people. They're just regular hunters. Others have said that Christina is definitely just pretending and they can tell from the video. Now there's another camp, and this group says that there's no possible way these are humans. Now, as much as I'd like to, unfortunately I would have to agree with them just being hunters. To me, the more I watch it, it just looks like two guys walking through the woods. These videos are tough because you never know the intentions of the person filming. It could have just been a joke that made its way to the internet, so it's tough to draw a definite conclusion. Now, what would have been funny is that it appears that these guys don't know she's there. So if she let off a warning shot, man, it would have scared them half to death. That would have been a good video. The user VidsWild posted a photo from a fan that was sent in, and it caused quite a stir online, especially because it looks a lot like a werewolf. At first it just kinda seemed like a big wolf caught on a trail cam, but a closer look shows something really odd. As you can see, the creature has long fingers that look like human hands. I don't need to tell you that that's not something you normally see on wolves. And its face is odd too. It doesn't really match a typical wolf's either. Some people have even noticed that its teeth seem more human than animal. This mix of human and wolf traits have people going nuts. They're throwing all types of wild guesses out there. Could this be some kind of wolf-person hybrid? Is this a dog man? Some are claiming the photo's just messed up, that it's a hoax, someone's tricking us. I'm leaning towards all of the latter, but I will let you guys decide. This next picture comes as a viewer submission from a lady named Patricia. Patricia lives in Washington State and is an amateur photographer. I'll just read what she sent in by email. Dear Dread Captures team, I hope this message finds you well. I recently had a rather eerie experience that I felt compelled to share with your channel. My name's Patricia and I live in Upper Washington State. I've been experiencing with photography in the deep woodlands behind my home. I was practicing a technique where I take photos with my camera and later adjust the exposure to highlight specific areas that are usually hidden by shadows. During one of these sessions, I captured an image that, at first glance, appeared to be a typical forest scene. However, when I adjusted the lighting on a particularly dark section of the photo, I uncovered something truly inexplicable. Two distinct figures that seemed to be in motion. These silhouettes had a ghostly quality, almost as if they were phantoms caught mid-stride. And the creepiest part is that they were not visible to me at the time I took the picture. The figures appear human-like, but are covered in a blur that suggests rapid movement, more than what you'd expect from a single camera shake. The forest was calm and peaceful, and I was alone, which honestly makes the presence of these figures all the more unsettling. But I highlight that part because there's no way there was anyone else in the picture. As the days have gone on, I've become excited. They've brought about a feeling of a hidden reality, one that perhaps we are not meant to see. I've attached the photo for your review. I am at a loss for what these apparitions could be. As I mentioned, there were no other people in the vicinity that day, and the stillness of the forest was obvious. It's as if the camera lens pierced through a veil to another dimension, capturing inhabitants unaware of my presence. This photo has left me with more questions than answers and a newfound respect for the secrets the forest keeps. I would be honored if you considered featuring my photograph on Dread Captures. Perhaps your viewers might shed some light on this mystery. Warm regards, Patricia. Well, that is pretty creepy. I don't really know what to make of these. It looks like two men, and they're in some type of robes. Both of them are bald, but then the one on the left kind of looks like a skeleton. I'd love to know more about what was on this property. There looks like there's some wood on the background, so I don't know if that was from an old house or if that's just regular piles of wood. There look to be some boards in there. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is super intriguing to me. Get ready, because what we're about to show you is absolutely crazy. Picture this, a quiet, almost eerily silent road in the dead of night. The only noise you can hear is the gentle hum of the car's engine. Inside we have two passengers. One of them is recording what appears to be a typical nighttime drive. The surroundings are covered in darkness with only a single street light flickering in the distance. Now, as the car rolls on, everything seems normal. The person with the camera is keeping it steady, although I'm not really sure what or why they're filming. But then out of nowhere, a quick, white figure rushes past, cutting across the road. It's there and gone in a heartbeat, not even a few seconds. Just disappears into the dark night. Now, this is either a person dressed in entirely white and moving really fast, or it is a ghost. Some have speculated it could have been the ghost of someone who once met a tragic fate on this very road. I also think this could just be a drunk teenager running from a field party. However, this clip really makes you think, doesn't it? It reminds us that the cover of night might just be hiding mysteries that we can't even begin to fathom. So next time you're out on a dark, desolate road, keep your eyes peeled, whip out your phone, because who knows what secrets the night might reveal. I think we could all agree that Bigfoot is typically linked to the remote mountainous regions of America. But surprisingly, there have also been several under-the-radar sightings in the United Kingdom. In 2021, Bigfoot hunter Lee Brickley reported finding tracks and claw marks in the forests of Britain, which he believes are evidence of an ape-like creature. These marks were discovered in Cannock Chase, Staffordshire. And if you've been watching this channel for any time, you know we've covered Cannock Chase a few times. It's a 26 square mile forest known for centuries of paranormal occurrences. I mean, ranging from child ghosts to UFOs and werewolves. Even reports of Yeti-like figures go back to the 1800s. Lee photographed footprints which he says were a frightening 41 centimeters in length, almost double the size of a large human foot, and way too big for any local wildlife. About a month later, while he was hunting, he encountered large claw marks on a tree near a mauled deer. The deer had bite marks and its throat was torn out. Sightings and reports in this area have spiked since early 2019, leading many to suspect that some mysterious creature is lurking in Cannock Chase. I don't know, guys, maybe we have some listeners that live near there. Maybe they could check these woods out for us. In 2020, a hiker in California's San Gabriel Wilderness took out his camera to capture the scenery when he noticed something unusual in the trees and zoomed in. He recorded a large figure standing at what he estimates to be 10 to 15 feet tall. He said it was standing completely still, almost as if to not be noticed. The hiker has lived in this area his entire life, and he has never known of a Bigfoot sighting.
We're about 10, 20 feet behind me, and as I turn around, I'm looking straight, and I see the creature on that tree. So what I do is I continue walking closer to try to tell myself, am I seeing a shadow, a tree stump? At that point, I see his head turn, so I know that I'm not looking at a shadow. And this is where I stop, and this is where everything pretty much happened. This is where my daughter videotaped from your angle.
And when he looked it up online, this area is not typical of where you would see Bigfoot sightings. However, a couple of years earlier, unbeknownst to this guy, a woman in the San Bernardino Mountains, not too far from San Gabriel, reported seeing a Sasquatch up in a tree.
I swear to God, Mom? Yeah. Yeah.
It caught her eye and she couldn't stop looking at it. She described how she walked closer to confirm if it was just a shadow. But then she saw its head turn, making her certain it was no shadow. Luckily for us, her daughter caught the moment on video. These mysterious encounters raise the question, could they have captured the same creature? What's your take? I'm not sure, but I wouldn't cross this mountain range in California off the Bigfoot list quite yet. A chilling photograph found on Google Maps and highlighted by a TikTok user sent the internet into a frenzy. In under 1 hour, this video had amassed over 220,000 views, and widespread discussion was breaking out. The Chernobyl disaster in April of '86 was a catastrophic nuclear accident. It resulted in the evacuation and long-term displacement of tens of thousands of people. Places like the city of Pripyat within the Chernobyl exclusion zone had drawn the eerie fascination of tourists, with visitor numbers reaching approximately 100,000 annually. The image that has gone viral shows the eerie remnants of Pripyat's amusement park, with the focus on the dilapidated Ferris wheel. The scene quickly becomes dicey when the video reveals a shadowy outline of a person, dressed in what seems to be a purple jacket hiding behind a tree. And you know how quick everyone is on the internet. While it's hard to see, it didn't get past those people. Many viewers were saying that this was a person that was left over from the incident. They were talking about radiation's effects and all types of mutations. One guy threw a little humor into the comments by saying, "How could a Google car have gotten to such a sealed-off location?" Anyhow, could this shadowy presence be a brave urban explorer? Or even an abandoned mannequin? I'd like to believe it's something more cryptic. But nevertheless, it makes you guess, really, what is it? I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this. I don't have any experience with Photoshop, but I don't know if you could even do this, or let me know. In an unusual twist on a quaint farm setting, a TikTok video from the user Brianna Antoinette has sparked a little bit of laughter and a lot of unease. The clip starts harmlessly enough, as we can see Brianna amongst her chickens, yet the mood takes a curious turn when she steps back. She calls out to the chickens, but they stay eerily still, as if time has stopped for them.
It's grab time! What the fool? Why are they all not moving?
As the video goes on, the intrigue grows. Then, just as suddenly as they had stopped moving, the chickens start up again, busily pecking and roaming, leaving everyone puzzled. Some TikTok viewers have guessed that the chicken's odd stillness might be a natural defense against a predator like a hawk that could be hiding nearby, basically thinking if they don't move, they won't be seen. Others jokingly suggest it might be proof that our world is just a simulation, and the chickens are experiencing a glitch. What's your take on this curious event? This next clip is particularly creepy. It's a little different than what we normally showcase, but I think it just caught me so off guard I didn't really know what to think. And I've had a similar experience, which I'll tell you guys at the end. Anyhow, this is the strange case of Jack Froese, a 32-year-old from Dunmore, Pennsylvania. I mean, it has left people all over the world confused. So Froese passed away suddenly in June 2011 from an unexpected heart problem. I mean, just shocking his loved ones. As they began to come to terms with his sudden loss, something incredible happened starting in November of 2011. And this made them question what they knew about life and death. A guy named Tim Hart, Froese's closest friend, was the first to encounter this. He was at home and an email popped up from Jack Froese, who had passed away a few months ago. The subject line read, "I'm watching." And the message was, "Did you hear me? I'm at your house. You need to clean your attic." Hart was alone, but he got freaked out. He went around and checked his house because he thought someone might be playing a practical joke on him. The messy attic comment was a private joke between him and Froese. No one else should have known about it. Then Jimmy McGraw, Froese's cousin, also got an email about an ankle injury he had gotten well after Froese had passed away. It said, "Hey Jim, how you doing? I knew you were going to break your ankle. Tried to warn you. Gotta be careful. Tell Rock for me. Great song, huh? You're welcome." Couldn't get through to him. His email didn't work. McGraw was equally as freaked out. After these two emails, no more came and nobody could explain it. People have guessed that maybe someone got into Froese's email to mess around and just drum up some funny memories, and they somehow knew of these personal details they listed in the emails. Others thought McGraw and Hart made it all up, but people privy to the situation say that they're not really those types of guys, and that narrative didn't quite fit with how specific the messages were. Some think Froese might have set the emails to send after he was gone, but his sudden death and the mention of McGraw's injury happening later makes it seem impossible. The most out there idea is that Froese was reaching out from beyond the grave. Of course, this goes against logic, but is something those who believe in the supernatural might think possible. What really happened with these emails is still a mystery. It could be a clever trick, or maybe Froese really is trying to reach out from the grave. That would be amazing. As for my story, I'll keep it quick. My best friend's younger brother, who was like a brother to me, was killed in a brutal car wreck with he and some friends. This took place in our hometown, and after a really long night, we all got up the next morning, and I had a text from his phone that said, "Are you ready?" And I just remember it stopped me in my tracks. It was hours after he passed, and I never actually got an answer as to what it could have been. Nevertheless, rest in peace. Well, forget about Bigfoot lurking in the shadows. Apparently all you had to do was have a live TV show take place. A couple on a dating show, casually walking and talking, were about to have the show stolen from them by the infamous Bigfoot. As the camera moves across the two people, pay attention to what's happening right behind the pair. You can spot two large figures, bearing an uncanny resemblance to Bigfoot, just nonchalantly walking into the woods. I'm interested in what you guys think about this one. Do we think that this was something that drew Bigfoot out? Is this channel just trying to create a viral clip? Or could this really be a legit Bigfoot capture on tape? People often say, everything's bigger in Australia. Well, a photo taken by Alec might just prove this point. This snapshot, captured one bright sunny morning in New South Wales, Australia, features an astoundingly large feline. So much so that even Alec himself could hardly believe what he was seeing. The cat, with its broad head and muscular body, towered over the size one would expect from your average wildcat. Its size was so unusual that some viewers began to speculate, could this be the legendary Blue Mountain Panther? Or even Lithgow, a famed giant cat rumored to have roamed the expanses of New South Wales for over 100 years. But one question I have, why is it that this massive cat isn't spotted more often? Is it just elusive? Or does it have some masterful camouflage? Another interesting concept people adopted from the comments is that apparently Australia had private zoos for many years. And when the government decided that all those zoos needed to be shut down, the owners were not allotted enough time, and some probably didn't care or didn't want to shut down, but essentially no good way to turn in their animals. So similar to what's happened in Florida in the States with the exotic animals. They're just released into the wild and we kind of see what happens. In April 2009, Michael Green captured a 3-minute video with a thermal imager in the Uwharrie National Forest in North Carolina. A retired chief investigator, Green had been on a 2-decade-long quest for Sasquatch and thought he had finally found concrete evidence. Having caught a glimpse of the creature in the forest in 2008, he spent the next year returning to the site, setting up camp, and leaving out treats like bananas, apples, peanut butter, snack bars, and even squeaky toys. This footage has actually earned the nickname of Squeaky Thermal. His perseverance seemed to pay off when, late at night on April 28, 2009, he heard sounds from the woods. He prepared the thermal imager on a tripod, connected to a digital video recorder, and moved away to wait. After 2 hours, he returned to find the imager's battery dead, but the bait was missing. So this thermal imager, obviously it detects heat, but for example, the heat distribution in a man in a costume would be uneven due to the insulation effect, while a living being, like a naked man or some type of animal, would appear in a more uniform color. In the footage, the figure Green estimated to be around 7.5 feet tall took a snack bar, then moved back and forth in a swaying motion. This brings up an interesting point. The creature's behavior and thermal signature seem quite natural, not like someone in a costume. Could this really be a genuine Sasquatch sighting? Or is this just another unexplained phenomenon? It's definitely a compelling addition to the cryptic captures, and you can't help but wonder if Green's dedication might have just unveiled a hidden truth of the forest. But the only thing that really gives me pause, how do you let the battery die? I mean, if you've made this your life's mission, you've got to give yourself more than 2 hours worth of battery life. I don't know, the footage is pretty cool though. This next clip shows amazing footage of a cougar attacking a deer on a trail camera. It's amazing how stealthy they can be. You see the deer jumped and tried to break free, but that's not going to happen. The homeowner reported that the cougar came for 3 days and ate off the kill. On the 4th day, however, 2 bears showed up and dragged what was left away. Great footage to catch on a trail camera.